Benvenuti al live show del Bogeyman dopo la prima giornata della Ryder Cup a Roma. That is, I've learned that off all day. Inspired by Luke Donald and his in his opening ceremony. Welcome to the Bogeyman's live show on day one of the Ryder Cup. What a day!
I mean, the day honestly couldn't have gone any better. I don't think from a European perspective. We are both also in our Italian theme today, drinking a couple of Peronis. Cheers to a good day one. Really good day one. Let's start from the very, very beginning. Well, let's start with the results actually. 6.5 to 1.5. A clean sweep in the foursomes in the morning, and then
that shocked me.
I mean, no, well, it's the first time it's ever been done. So yeah, no, I don't think anyone could have said that they had predicted that coming because you'd have been lying. You 100% would have been lying. Let's go through the teams here now. Firstly, so we have them here. So at 6:35 was John Rahm, Theo Hatton. They were played against Scotty Scheffler and Sam Burns, Mike Hovland, Ludwig Aberg against Max Homa, Brian Harman. Then was Shane Lowry and Sepp Straka against Ricky Fowler and Colin Morikawa. And the last match out was Fleetwood Mac was Roy McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood against Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay. Going into those, did you have any concerns?
Rahm and Hatton did at the start. Like I knew it could go well, but I knew it could blow up with the two of them killing each other. And I'm going to be very honest, Lowry and Straka worried me.
I get that. I understand that. I think I was a little afraid of what kind of Tyrrell Hatton was going to turn up. You know, possibly what kind of Victor Hovland was going to turn up. He's been playing unbelievable in the lead up to this. Won the Tour Championship. Probably wrongly should have been a little concerned about him. And then just with Rory's Ryder Cup record, like going into this, he was 12, 12, and 4. So his Ryder Cup record is literally a 50-50 split. Like, well, 2 points toward his favor in the positive, but
I mean he's got 7 Ryder Cups.
That's it, 7 Ryder Cups. So that's a good margin, to be fair.
To be fair, we're looking at it
going into today though. He'd lost his last 5 Ryder Cup matches. Like that's a really bad return for Rory McIlroy. I watched that captain's dinner piece that Nick Doherty did, and they went through who was the ultimate Team Europe Ryder Cup team. And rightly so, Rory was nowhere to be found in that squad.
No, and I think that's probably fair. He'd probably say that.
I think he'd say that.
I think he's flip flopped very early on in his opinions on the Ryder Cup. I think. Do you see the video of him reading out that he didn't like the Ryder Cup because it was an exhibition and it wasn't real golf?
Yeah, when he was a kid,
but he was just like, yeah, actually, that wasn't me. But so I think, to be honest, as you said, he doesn't have the record that Rory McIlroy deserves.
No,
from the baller and from the player he is.
Yeah, I think that's very, very true. Let's go through the first match. So John Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton, having them go off was great. They went off and they got off to a flyer.
They did massively.
Just immediately, there was no red on the board at any point. They went up fast. Sam Burns, let's chat a little bit about him first, because John Rahm played his fucking face off. He for me is my MVP for day one.
Day one,
yeah, 100%. He has
not
to be
Hovland, not your boy.
Have
I now threw a spanner in the works?
No, I think John, because of a couple of reasons. Okay, we're not going to get Sam Burns first.
Yeah,
John Rahm's my MVP for today because he had Tyrrell Hatton with him in the first group, and Tyrrell played very well. Played very, very well, but he put John Rahm in a couple of squirty positions. And then for the fact that John Rahm was then paired with Nikolai Højgaard, who I understand Hovland was paired with Aberg, a rookie in his first game, but Aberg just took to it like a fish to water. Whereas you could see Nikolai was nervous. You could see that this moment was a lot to him. And I think that John Rahm did very well for that. I think there are 3 contenders for MVP from the European side today, and that is there's Rahm, Hovland, and Rory. They all went out twice. They all won twice.
Yeah, that's it. You're dead right. And I think to lead off with Rahm, I think was good from Donald.
Yep.
I think he's a good man to set the pace out as a front runner, and then finishing it, or in the first, forcing it away with Rory. I think it was actually quite smart. I don't know how you could overplay the captain's role a little bit at certain stages, but I think he's for moving foursomes first.
It
Was a good call.
Great call.
And
Great
I think
call.
he got his pairings pretty spot on.
I think the fact that like Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. Now, obviously, now in hindsight, it's easy to say that they should have gone out.
Yeah.
But the second that these pairings went out in the first place yesterday, that was madness, really, to be honest. Just to have those guys, just even from a motivational side. Obviously, we've no idea how well they would have played as foursomes. They didn't play particularly great. They played well enough to get their half point, and it was a grind to get that. But like straight after their round, Jordan Spieth more or less sprinted straight to the driving range and was just furiously working on the driving range. Whereas everyone else was out there on 18, waiting for the last two matches to come in. He was just like, no, gotta go fix this. I'm not happy with this. Gotta go work on it. So that was an odd one for me.
Do you think the two of them go out tomorrow?
Well, we know they go out tomorrow.
Oh, sorry, of course.
The team, for people that haven't noticed, the pairings for tomorrow have come out. We'll get onto that. We'll get that whole other section. Yeah. But let's finally now get to Sam Burns. For us, he shouldn't have been on the squad, I think, in the first place. He was a sketchy pick.
He was. I think it was quite obvious that he was going into partner Scheffler, and he was to be his buddy and his putter.
Didn't turn out particularly great.
I don't think Scotty played that badly, really. Like he was okay, but I think it just didn't work. And I can see the logic in where Zach Johnson was thinking.
Yeah, for sure. I think also
it just didn't click.
Yeah, Sam Burns didn't play well though.
No,
like he just didn't play well. His iron play was off. He was pulling a lot of tee shots to the left. Like that's obviously a nerves thing. He's a fader of the golf ball, and the guys in commentary were saying, like Nick Fowler was saying, when he pulls a left or when anyone pulls a left at that level, that's just nerves trying to get a little bit more out of the golf ball.
Yeah.
I mean, like, of course he's going to be nervous. Rightly so. He was nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just didn't perform for me at all. Hovland and Aberg, we have a guest waiting in the wings who are we gonna have on in just a minute. But let's get through Victor Hovland and Ludwig Aberg first. 4-3 win over Max Homa and Brian Harman. People were saying Brian Harman is going to be unbelievable at foursomes. You were saying, I think I said, you were like, oh, I'm worried about Brian Harman. He's going to be making all the putts. Nothing. He did nothing.
And I did say I was worried about Harman, and then I did there was a couple of videos. I think Dave sent sort of a tweet saying that he was practicing away from the team.
Apparently that's just a left-handed thing, but Bob McIntyre's left-handed, and he wasn't down that end either. So.
And Bob would hate to be down on his own down there. Like exactly. Bob would hate that. He wants to be in the thick of it. So I don't know, is that a factor? But yeah, he really didn't. Right, and then it didn't click with Max. You can see the logic in it. Max, a beautiful swing. Yeah, and then he was going to come in with the putter. But again, it just didn't click.
It absolutely clicked for Victor Hovland and Ludwig Aberg. Straight from the first hole. Like
I got so obviously I got up. I was up at 6, and I was sitting here on the couch watching it. I think I text you, and that chip.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Because Aberg looked a little nervous in the start.
Yeah,
and obviously, literally, he was nervous. He looked a little nervous. And then Hovland, I don't know, you take it though. I got this, buddy. I got it. No worries. And it just
chips it in. You see, he cuts to Shane Lowry back in the first heat, going ballistic. Watching it, unbelievable, great scenes, and just what a day from a European perspective. Aberg then hit his stride. He was making putts from everywhere. So was Hovland. Like their putting was so good. For me, that was just such a good team. 4-3 win was just. It was the idea. I mean, for a rookie's perspective, the perfect start for him.
Yeah, I also think that people would say that Hovland had the kind of chipping yips and stuff, and he kind of worked on it. And I think him chipping in so early, I think it just sent a little calmness through the whole team and went, "Oh, he's on it.
Yeah,
we're here."
I'd say even from the American perspective, if they're like, "Oh Jesus, he's chipped in on the first hole," like everything's going to go their way. It's just going to be that kind of day.
But even in battle golf, when you've played bag golf, and someone chips in or does something, you're like, oh, like it just drains the energy and the soul out of you.
Big time. Listen, talking about energy, talking about the Ryder Cup, we're going to throw to our guest for the show. Let me get him up here. This is a new software, so we're trying to figure this one out.
So yeah, our man on the ground in Rome, he probably has had a rake of pizza and has had a good couple of glasses of vino.
How are you, sir? How are you, Mark? We cannot hear you there. This is what we're talking about.
This is live TV.
This is live TV for you now, guys. How's that working? Can't hear you. How about you just go without the headphones there? Okay, you connected? See, this is where live TV. No, I like this. I like this though.
So he's coming live from his hotel room in Rome. So again, we've got Italian Wi-Fi, and then we have the Irish Wi-Fi situation here. It'll come.
This will happen. Don't worry, listen. This is bound to happen.
Probably the most excited man as well when I saw his story that while ago, being over there.
Can't hear you there, Mark. Can't hear anything. Tell you what, when you disconnect the AirPods, and we'll try it again. We'll come back to you now in a second. We'll turn that off now. We'll come back to you in a second.
That's the backroom team.
That's it. Yeah, look, we're a small technical unit, a small production team. We're doing all this ourselves. We're pushing the ones and twos all on our own. Let's go then to the third pairing. Right. So third match, Shane Lowry, Sepp Straka. You a little bit of concern around this?
Yeah, I was worried because I didn't think Straka would. If Shane dipped a little bit, I didn't think we'd have Straka would have the energy to bring Larry back up. But man, I was wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. Shane was just an absolute volcano of energy.
Yeah, he was saying
every time the camera turned to him, he was fist bumping, he was jumping, and then the two of them just were on fire.
He was saying in his post-round interview that Sepp Straka is a little bit more of a calmer personality than he is. He's a bit fiery, and that they kind of balance each other out nicely that way. They also said that they play the same golf ball. They have all the same clubs in the same bag. Everything for foursomes just matched perfectly. For me, I was like, oh, well, there you go. That's a match made in heaven.
Which is funny because I was worried because I know he wanted to play with Tommy, and there was a few things that he was looking forward to. When I saw the pairing, I was like, okay, he's not with the buddy he wants, but it was so good that you've said that they match up perfectly, and they seem to just get on really well.
Yeah,
even them walking between holes, they just look to look really suited to each other.
I mean, I think you'd be hard done to not get on with Shane Lowry, to be honest with you.
That's true.
So that was a good 2-1 win for those guys. We're going to give this another run. Mark, you think it's working there? How are you, sir? No, still nothing. One second. Okay.
We'll try something else.
We'll try something else. Mark, we'll come back to you, all right? You can hear us okay, though, yeah? Yeah, okay. You can hear us. Okay. All right, we'll be back in a second. Then I guess that brings us on to our final foursomes match, which is, of course... Ooh, hold on. Embarrassing, sorry.
It is Fleetwood Mac.
Embarrassing, sorry.
Just in case. Yeah, good job he wasn't getting changed. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. And I put that story up on our Instagram, and I was just booging to that all day in work.
Of the four matches that were going on that morning, I was worried about that one. I'll be honest with you.
Form-wise, is that what you were?
Just so obviously Rory had that injury. He's had a little bit of a niggle. He wasn't all that happy. He wasn't playing all that great. He's playing good, but wasn't playing peak Rory that you kind of want. And then Tommy Fleetwood, you never really know what you're going to get with Tommy.
Tommy lad, yeah, he could be unbelievable or he could be all over
average,
the shop.
Yeah, and I mean, he said it himself. He didn't make a putt until 15, but what a time to make a putt! The two of the lads were in the absolute shit.
He did that in Paris. When he was at Monterey, he didn't do anything on the first day for 8, and then he drained that one, and then he did his crouching tiger hidden celebration sort of thing. He did nothing, and then boom when it was needed.
Yeah.
So he is. I think he's a man for this. I just think he gets it.
He does, yeah. He just loves it. He lives for it. So that 15 for, I guess, anyone that didn't see it, but come on, you must have seen it. Rory hit a horrendous tee shot into the crap, hits off the tree, comes straight down.
Didn't drive it like that.
Didn't drive it well.
First is when he
didn't
pushed
drive
it
well.
like.
So that was in the long grass. Fleetwood then tries to just hacks it out through the fairway into a bunker. Rory then what happened there? That was another hole. No, that was 16. So it was bad drive from Rory into the bunker, and then he lays up short of it. Fleetwood lays up short of it. Rory wedges on to about 15 feet, and then the other guys, the US, have initially a birdie putt, maybe like a 25 footer birdie putt. Miss it though, goes about 6 foot past. Tommy jars the putt, and then just the pressure that puts on, the match play pressure was it was too much for them. I loved it. That was just so good.
So good. I like the two of them just looked so in control though. Even when they were making mistakes, it didn't look like they were blowing up at all. And even I think Billy Foster being there, him and Rory, I'd love to know what was said.
That was for Fitzpatrick later on.
Sorry, Fitzpatrick later on. Yeah. We'll get back to that.
Mark, we'll give this another go. You're confident. I'm confident.
I'm hoping this works this time.
Yes, there we are.
We got it.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Not too bad. First of all, for all your viewers, I'm just going to say to you now, I've been out all day. I'm on the limoncello. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, just finished dinner. Resetting from a day where I wasn't on the course totally today. So yesterday, tomorrow, hopefully Sunday, we'll see. So we're that's when it works now. I hope
You're in negotiations.
No, Dina, the girlfriend and the family are watching this, so they didn't know I'm trying to sort that out. So I've kind of let the cat out of the bag here. So if they're watching, I'm in trouble. And that'll tell you the level of alcohol that is involved in today. So, first cat out of the bag. But I was listening to you guys there, and I think there was two things for me that really stood out. I think, first and foremost, the first comment made being foursomes first. Like, the US do not like foursomes. So establishing that lead was huge for Europe this morning. But the second thing say it again.
So you've been on site for a few of the practice days. Yeah. How much of the foursomes practice has you been seeing?
So Europe didn't really show their hand, and it was interesting. You were saying like how crazy it was that the US put a lot of pairings together. They showed their hand a little bit. I think you saw from Shane's interview today. He said we've known for a few weeks, so there was no real shocks in the European side, right? And I think it was about more getting to know each other in the practice rounds. What I noticed from the one thing I was really impressed with in the practice round from the European perspective was how suddenly leaders stepped up. So suddenly leaders have already stepped up out of nowhere.
That's a really good point.
So you've lost on Garcia, Poulter, Westwood, Stenson. Where are they coming from? And I thought Shane Lowry over the practice days came into his own. He was just immense with Aberg. Aberg was on the 11th and he was about to tee off. And Shane said, "No, you can't hit here." He goes, let the amateurs play here. And made him feel instantly comfortable. Shane drove off and Aberg ended up flying the green. So like it was just a whole, I suppose, chemistry between the European team I thought was great. And I thought that there was a few standouts. I thought Shane was incredible. I thought Justin Rose was amazing the last 2 days, guys.
When you say incredible, like what have they been doing? What makes them more?
Well, Lowry was more leadership for me rather than playing. Because, practice rounds don't really mean a lot in terms of, they're figuring out pin positions and club selection, but trying to make the European fans understand the new kids. And I thought Højbjerg, I'd agree with you, looked nervous today. And the best person beside him could be Ram. But Jesus, did he step up to the plate? I thought he was very, very good today. And he was very, very good at practice. He had 2 eagles. He had an eagle on the 12th and he had an eagle on the 16th in practice. So okay. he was in form.
See, this is why we need a man on the ground, you see?
I think I actually wrote a few notes because, when you've had a few beers, you're like, okay, reset the mind here and don't make a fool of yourself. So I have a few notes on a couple of things you were saying. I thought that the US selection was out ridiculously stupid this morning.
Yep.
So I thought,
who would you have had in their stead?
So you're telling me no Spieth, no Thomas. I don't care how well they're playing. No Spieth, no Thomas in round one. You have two rookies together in Homa and Brian. Harman. Yeah, Max Homa and Harman Brian. I think the lack of leadership within the US team in session one was massively obvious.
Yeah.
Like there was no leadership there. So you're leaving Brooks Koepka on the bench, Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas out of your four you've left out. And you expect the morning session to go well. Like...
That's damning. You're in Rome. Someone might get you for saying those words.
Yeah, but I don't mind. Even the last pairing, which has a bit of experience in Fowler and Morikawa, right? Excuse me, I've been shouting all day and yesterday. So anyone who's watching this who knows me would know that I'm not that quiet. So it is what it is. Even the last pairing this morning in Fowler and Morikawa. Okay, Morikawa, unbelievable iron player. Probably, bar Tiger, one of the best iron players you'll ever see. And Fowler. Morikawa hasn't been great in the last few years.
No.
Albeit he's qualified for the Ryder Cup, so he's still a brilliant player. But then you've got updates coming on my laptop. No, you've got Ricky Fowler, who has come back, and I don't think anyone would begrudge seeing Ricky Fowler come back. He's a brilliant golfer. But you put the two of them out together, and when the going gets tough, and knowing game four is probably going to be a Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, or a Ram and Hovland situation, it's going to be a big game. They put out two guys who have struggled in the last few years. Like the selection this morning was out for a bloodbath. I said it last night when I watched it. I was like, this is a joke. What is he doing? And like, I'm on the European side, so I'm rubbing my hands.
you're delighted with it.
Yeah, like he was just, I could not believe who he left out.
Yeah. So you've been on site for the practice days. Talk to us about what the environment has been like on site. The chants, the sing songs. How much better are the European fans than the US fans?
Yeah, it's like that. Like that's not even a question. I don't think. Like, like I will say one thing. We're over here. My girlfriend's brother. We're over here with him, and he caddied with a load of US guys, and they're great fun. But like immediately we arrived on the Monday, and he was like, "Yeah, wager says the USA win outright." And I was like, "Man, I haven't even seen anything yet. So I'm not judging anything." That they're very, very, very confident. But the reality doesn't match their confidence. And I thought this Ryder Cup was going to be really close, and it is. I think it's much closer than the last time. In terms of chance, Zombie had an introduction in a practice day. I'll give you that. So it's Zombie had an introduction, but there's no real chance as of yet. I think as the week goes on and the players make a name for themselves, like Aberg or Nicholas Hobart, who I can tell you now I was really impressed with him, by the way. Just on an offload, very nervous in the first tee, but man, he showed up.
I was chatting to you. You said you watched him on the range, and you were just like, this was a baller.
Yeah, Aberg, man. Like, he is disturbingly good at ball set. Like, it's disturbing. Like he, when you see a guy off the range, like I play a bit of golf, but you've no idea when you see if I left the range, you'd be like, who is that hacker? Versus Aberg, who's just like slicing butter off the tee box. It was amazing to watch, and even on the golf course, it was impressive.
So I was watching him, and I don't think Weston played the DP World Tour and a couple of PGA Tour events. This was the moment when I actually looked at him and I was like, this guy has world number one written all over him.
Yeah, I'd agree with you completely. Like there's not even a doubt of what you've just said, because for me, I think he's 87 days as a pro or something. He's on the Ryder Cup, not made a major appearance. I don't want to speak ill of people, but like Adrian Moronks reaction to not getting selected doesn't bode well for him, because that's not what the European team is about. It's about saying, well done, you got selected, I didn't, we move on. And I think Aberg, even in the BMW and today, justified his selection. And so did Nicholas Højgaard, and so did Shane Lowry. So Moronk, we're not the US team. We don't call people out. We don't create drama in the background. And I think Adrian Moronk's reaction shouldn't have been. It looks a little bit petty now, in my opinion, even though he's a great player. But you're talking about, Aberg as, and I would agree with you, world number one. Moronk's never going to be world number one.
No, and to be completely honest, never going to be anywhere near it. Do you think that because obviously it's a youngish team, Adrian Moronk is quite young, you got to think he's got to be on a decent enough shout of being in the squad?
And I think you'll probably be taken aside by maybe the Roses or the McIlroys of that era and say, look, wipe a clean slate under us. Don't say comments like that. I think he's definitely good enough. There's no doubt about that. But Højgaard, I would have said if you were taking somebody out, it would have been Moronk getting in, Højgaard taken out. But in actual fact, Højgaard was exceptional today. He was nervous. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But he was very, very good.
Yeah, his front line was outrageous.
Can we just take a moment to just talk about Matt Fitzpatrick?
Well, yeah, we're going to get into it. Yeah.
Can we just talk about 5 under through 4 holes? Was it?
Yeah, and then he was 600.
Yeah. Like, that guy turned up, and for a guy who's had a 0 record, I was so happy for him.
Yeah, I feel like obviously, Ryder Cup records are a funny one, and he has a raw deal in terms of the results he has.
I agree with that. He always comes up against the worst opponent.
And also, like, if you got a bad record going into a Ryder Cup, like going into Western Straits, I would have been like, right, let's put him in 4 balls. You can kind of hide someone a bit more in 4 balls than in foursomes. Prime example is Robert McIntyre today. He's got off to a good start. 2
Yeah, thoughts on that. What's your opinion on him?
He's been poor for the last couple of months, really. Got off to a good start, 200 to the first 3 holes. And then Justin Rose just saved his life for the next 15 holes.
Man, Rose showed some serious experience today.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good one. He showed a lot of leadership, a lot of care, and it was, you said we were picking teams a while ago. You said Rose will come in, he'll be that leader, he'll look after lads, and that's exactly what he did.
And like, he doesn't need to be a big hand in your chest leader. He's more of have a quiet word with Bob now before we go off. We'll say a little something and we'll go play our 18-hole golf. Do I think we'll see Bob tomorrow? I don't think so.
No, I'd agree with you. I think when I went back to the first comment about looking at the US selection, I think that's where they were way off. If you look at the European team out first, Ram and Hatton, nice leadership team. Right, Aberg and Hovland, both Scandinavians. They'll connect. Let's get going. Hovland will drive them on. You had Lowry and Strap. Or Sepp. Sorry, he, by the way, also very impressive. Sepp was today. But Lowry again, and Lowry again, experience. And in the last match, so match 1 and match 4, making sure that it's solid. You have McIlroy and Tommy in the last, and you have Ram and Hatton in the first, and there was none of this kind of like, let's just take a chance, where you look at the US team, they went Scheffler Burns in the first match, which was a risk. They went Home O'Brien, both rookies. They went Fowler Morikawa, which is a risk. And then they went Scheffler and Patrick Cantlay. Like, I just could not get my head around how weak those selections were.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hindsight's a lot easier to point fingers and stuff, but the fact that Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas were not on the squad at all,
and Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks was a big one, Michael. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so let's get on to the afternoon session.
Yeah,
what did you make of the lineup there from, I guess, the European perspective first? Victor Hovland, Tyrrell Hatton, John Ram, Nicolai Højgaard, Bob Mack, Justin Rose, Roy McIlroy, Matt Fitz. I mean,
so I was very disappointed not to see Aberg play in the afternoon. because I think he needs, number one, if you're bringing him to a short Ryder Cup, he needs experience in foursomes. I know the selections were probably already done and everyone was preparing, and he didn't want to play the guy 2 days or twice in the first day. But I would love to have seen him in replace of McIntyre playing with Rose with that experience in Fourball. I would have loved to see that.
I think we'll see that tomorrow because I think he's a bit of a stallion. And I think you want to give him momentum going into Sunday finals. I think he'll play twice tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. I think match one, JT and Spieth. Look, JT today was like of old. Honestly, he striped the ball and he putted quite well. I wouldn't say he putted unbelievable. I know he had a few ropey shots, but some of his shots when he needed to hit them were quality. I earmarked the par 3 7th, was it? And he hit it close. I thought Hovland and Hatton dug in and they really dogged it out to keep in the game sometimes and were well
blinded it massively.
Yeah, I think they deserved their half for sure. I think Rahm and Højgaard was so impressive for his first Ryder Cup, I think, today. You know, Rahm had some really poor chips this afternoon. And I thought that Højgaard, when he was asked to step up, stood up. And you're against Scheffler and Brooks, 2 intimidating characters. And Rahm's put in the last. I think it was a fair result in that match. I don't know what your thought process is on that.
I think that was dramatic in terms of having to put a huge eagle put in the last to win the hole and to tie the match. Like they really, really dig deep. Nikolai Højgaard had an unbelievable front nine.
His back nine was a little more ropey.
Go ahead, sorry.
I said his back nine was definitely a little bit more ropey.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
but I think him having a solid front nine probably even gave John a chance to take a break, have a breather, settle into it again, and all right, okay.
And not have all the pressure on his shoulders. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, fair. I actually didn't even think of that. Didn't even think.
Because I guess if you look at it from just like a tiredness perspective, same thing kind of happened with Rory and Fitzpatrick's match. Like Fitzy got off to a hot start. Rory came in clutch in the back nine.
Yeah, but like Rory just standing there and watching Fitzer birdie. He was just like, you can go, mate. You fire away. Like you got this. Keep going. I'm happy. We're gonna sit here with Billy. We're gonna have a can and we're gonna get out. You've got this.
Have a couple of Peroni.
Yeah, a few Peroni, maybe some limoncello because Fitz is just dismantling this golf course.
He'd be drinking with me at this point. No, Matt Fitzpatrick today, guys, it was off the scale.
Yeah.
Absolutely off the scale. I thought like
the celebrations.
They also weren't 10 footers. They were like 15, 20 footers.
Yeah. They weren't easy putts by any stretch, but they didn't look like they went anywhere except bottom of the hole.
But like celebrations from the whole team. Like not just Fitzer's fist bumps, not just Hovland. Lowry was there. Like every little thing. It's like we're celebrating everything here. It reminds me of the Ferguson.
Michael, this is what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying to you about Lowry. I think he's really taken a leadership role.
Yeah, do you think like Donald said that to him? Is like, this is what I want from you. You know, you are this energetic guy that likes to chat. The lads like you. You're in the middle of it. I want you to rise, keep us pushing up all the time.
I wouldn't know what Luke Donald would say to Shane Lowry, to be honest. But like, would I feel like Shane would take it?
You're best mates with Luke. Yeah, we stuck it up on the Instagram. Yeah, I burst reserve tomorrow if he needs me. I said, look, I might be busy, you know.
Who was a big performer for you from the US side in the afternoon sessions? Like, I think Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth is a coin toss between the two of them. I think Jordan did his best, but Justin,
I would say Justin. Look, I like Justin Thomas. I think he's a standout guy. I think he's had a bad year and he's just put his head down and tried to work. And I do agree with him because he's a different animal in the Ryder Cup, you know. And I was with Jordan today, and I was also very impressed with Max Homa. I thought Max Homa actually made clutch putts when he needed to, and I thought he was quite impressive. I actually thought Wyndham Clark was quite good as well. But yeah, JT or Justin Thomas for me were the standouts for the US.
And then who underperformed on both squads?
Well, I think, look, I hate doing this because that's not fair as another golfer to be calling out somebody and saying on a
It's
team.
a professional sport, man. They're not going to know.
They're not going to be down in Lee
I know,
Valley or in Delgany and grab you on the putting green and go, "You, Mark, you had a go at me."
You're safe. You're safe.
They will look at me going, this fella down in Lee Valley is after coming after
man,
me.
they don't
Could you imagine, like,
look. You asked me not to curse, Michael.
Tomorrow, being like, you.
Yeah, I watched you on the boat. I watched in the Bogeyman last night a shite podcast. You were fucking have a go at me.
I'm also just going to say to you, listen, Michael, you said to me, don't curse, but like, they couldn't give a shit who I am. But at the same time, you don't want to be criticizing another golfer.
But they definitely don't.
No, they don't.
They know you were on the live. They know you were live on the Bogeyman, so they know you now.
Yeah, that's fair. I think on the I think Rob McIntyre was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
I saw him hit the ball in the practice rounds. Yeah, I just think even in the practice rounds when he hit the ball, it wasn't like, oh wow. It was like, okay, I've seen that before. Where the other guys hit it and you're like, oh wow. Like, And I think for me personally, I would have seen guys hit the ball like maybe McIlroy or another, right? But McIntyre didn't really say to me, oh yeah, I'm not going to get beaten. If I was up against him, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. On the US team, Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I can see that now as well.
I mean, like, God, if that guy could putt. It's a bit like Rory.
He's probably not going to be rested at all, though, will he?
Oh, I don't know. Depends how he plays.
But like the problem is if he ignites, that's him. Like he is their best player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is that guy. Yeah. I think Morikawa was very disappointed as well.
Yeah. You didn't hear much from him.
Yeah. Is my signal opening up for you? Okay.
It's a bit patchy, but you're all right. Don't worry. We're flying by the seat of our pants. It's okay. The people understand. The people understand. We will let you go on this last question, though. Who are you going to try and follow tomorrow?
So, Aberg is my number one. If he's playing, I want to watch him. I was so impressed from the practice rounds. Like, you've no idea how this guy hits a golf ball. Lowry is second because I really think he's grown into a leadership role, and I want to see him get the crowd going. Like, McIlroy isn't even in my thoughts, even though you want to see McIlroy play. There's a dynamic shift that's happened where Rory doesn't need to take all the responsibility. I think it's shared now between Lowry, McIlroy, Rose. Actually Matt Fitzpatrick a little bit as well now. But I'm going to follow Lowry and I'm going to follow Aberg tomorrow if they're playing.
Yeah, so the
Foursomes been announced actually.
Yeah, so Foursomes pairing for tomorrow.
Okay, so there you go. So that's when the beer comes in, and I haven't a clue who's playing. So who's playing tomorrow?
McIlroy and Fleetwood against Thomas and Spieth.
Oh shit, that's a fucking game.
It's a good game. Then there's Hovland and Aberg.
Yeah, okay, so I made fun of that for a bit.
Yeah, so they're first out. Then it's Hovland and Aberg against Scheffler, Koepka.
And that's a savage game too.
Game.
Jesus Christ.
Then it's Lowry and Straka against Homa and Harman. You got to think they're going to walk that.
Okay, I will definitely watch that game. I'm also going to point out. Can we question the US selection again?
The selection. Then the last one is Ram Hatton against Cantley Shoffley.
Yeah, man. The selection of that third game, Harman and who's Harman with?
Max again.
That's a dodgy fucking pair. Sorry, that's a dodgy pair.
You're benching Fowler, Morikawa, Sam Burns, and who's the fourth getting benched? No, Brooks is playing.
Shuffley.
Wyndham Clark.
Oh, Wyndham Clark. Who's Shuffley playing with?
He is with Cantley again last match.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wyndham Clark was actually quite good. I wouldn't have benched him.
No, me neither.
Yeah, it's surprising he's stuck with a few.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I was very surprised he stuck with Brian and Homa.
Say again?
So Brian and Homa, I would not have stuck with them at all.
No, I would have either broken them up or benched them. I probably would have gone Homa, Wyndham Clark again as the foursomes pairing.
Or Morikawa and Homa.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah.
The two Cali boys together. I've been waiting for the two Cali lads to go out together. I think it kind of seems to me that Zach Johnson had a plan very early, and he doesn't want to change it.
Yeah.
And he's, even though it's not clicking, he goes, no, we're sticking to the guns, we're sticking to the plan, sticking to the process, and it'll come good. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. Listen, Mark, thank you very much for that. We're going to let you off. Looks like your signal's got a little bit sketchier, so we're going to see you soon, right? Thanks for coming on.
Cheers. Thanks, Phil. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, right. Interesting to get the on the ground analysis, on the ground feedback. Before we get into anything else, you've probably seen over our shoulders, right? We have our new merchandise that we partnered up with Chippy Golf. We have a Bogeyman collection along with Chippy Golf that is coming out. You can get a driver head cover and you can get a towel for €40, and you can get a head cover on its own for €30 or a towel on its own for €20. But to be honest with you, I think the bundle's the best. It's also the best value. We've been getting a lot of compliments on them, which is great. I know they just launched yesterday. A few people have already bought them, which I am delighted to hear. Thrilled to know that. It's actually not all just like family and friends.
Yeah, my mum, who doesn't play golf, has bought it for the kitchen.
Yeah, it's people who actually listen to the pod and watch the videos. So thank you very much for supporting us. I guess in an era where a lot of people are going behind paywalls and doing lots of bits, we never want to do that, and we don't really want to do that. But this is our way to trying to build a bit more of a community, and like obviously, like we want to grow the Bogeymen into a business and into a brand that we can do more cool stuff, like actually be at the Ryder Cup rather than kind of doing it from here in Dublin. So these are small things that all kind of help toward that. So if you want to support us and if you want to buy yourself some cool new head covers and towels, I'm not just saying this because it's obviously our collection. The head covers, the Chippy Golf head covers in particular, are class.
The quality
of those leather is unbelievable.
Also,
the
quality of the towel is actually very, very nice, and it's not small. Like it's a
big
proper
player's
nice,
towel. And I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical about like those waffle style towels, which this is.
Really waffle though. It doesn't feel waffle. Like it's really, really soft.
No, it's a lot better than I openly was afraid it would be. To be honest with you, so I would say trust us. We wouldn't stand over something that we didn't think was really, really good. We sent we showed this to a few people before they went anywhere, and feedback was really positive. So thanks very much for supporting us as you have. And anyone that wants to, if you want to go visit chippygolf.co, you'll see the Bogeyman collection right there. Like I said, the bundle is probably the best deal. €40. You can't really go wrong.
Probably stick a link on our Instagram.
We'll stick a link on our Instagram stories and on the bottom of this YouTube video as well, and just everywhere. You'll see a lot of promotion for it.
Yeah.
Let's talk through now the pairings. Actually, no, sorry, one more thing. One more housekeeping. Mark has been really good. Obviously, he's our man on the ground, and we're very lucky that he is there for us. He is going to be going and raiding the Ryder Cup Pro Shop, and he's going to be buying a load of gear that we are going to give away to you guys. So we're going to run a giveaway. It's going to be a classic. Like us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all the rest of it. Every social platform we're trying to grow. So just be aware that there will be some Ryder Cup merchandise coming your way very, very soon. Okay. foursomes tomorrow morning.
I'm now very giddy about Aberg because
know,
I
yeah.
actually I would trust Mark's knowledge, like
Mark's
of the
a
game.
scratch golfer as well.
Yeah,
I mean
like
the Limoncello aside, there he's a very good player.
yeah, like he played like he won a lot of stuff in Delgany, and now he's down in Cork and Lee Valley, and they got into the All Irelands with him there as well. So like the fact he's excited about Aberg makes me very excited because I don't like listening to all this generational talent stuff, and it's just a lot of stuff. But if he's standing behind him going, oh, this guy,
yeah,
you know,
because there's always whenever you go to like a DP World Tour, BJ Tour event, you go to the driving range, everyone strikes the golf ball.
Yeah, everyone hits
like
it
that's
really
the
well.
whole reason that they're there. Like that's the minimum level of entry.
Yeah.
You have to be a good striker of the golf ball. But just for what people have been saying about Aberg, I mean, it's hard to argue with it. Like it's just like I was saying
in a major.
I know.
Like it's actually ridiculous.
But that's just timing as well. Like,
No, I know it is, but
the way
it's
things worked out.
He's gonna go back to a major and be like, "Oh, is this it?" Because the Ryder Cup's pretty sick. Like,
Yeah.
this is the first tee, and
to come down in the first or the next DP World Tour event he plays, if he plays no one, will be such a downer.
But even if he's at the US Open, I'm like, where's all the people? Where's
Yeah, that's true. Listen, let's talk through the foursomes.
Tomorrow, early doors,
7:35 Central Eastern Time. So that's 6:35 our time.
So the run to the first tee box again, like it was this morning, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Ram giving it one of them as he's walking across the bridge, and people running. Okay, so yeah, 6:35 is
Roy McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood against Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. Telling you what, guys, you won't be sleeping morning.
No, I think that has absolute carnage and bombshell written all over.
Carnage,
like absolute carnage, man. Absolute horseplay. There. I just think that is going to
so
be
good.
That's going to be explosive, and I think you're saying Spieth went off and worked on things. JT is okay, and then you've got Fleetwood, Mac just hoping to go and take them down.
Again, I think it depends on like what Tommy Fleetwood and what Roy McIlroy turn up. Like they scare me as a duo, just because they can be so hot or they can be so cold. Whereas like Justin and Jordan have a way of just being able to just turn it around halfway through a hole.
Hanging in there. The two of them and then all of a sudden you're like, no, Europe were in control of that, and then all of a sudden you say are one up, or
like the first par 3 that they played as a 4-ball pairing today. Jordan missed the green on the par 3, short-sided, chips it in, wins the hole, and you're just like, what happened? Like
it's so hard to play against that.
Like Turtle was like 9 foot away from the hole. Victor had like a 15, 20, 25 footer, and then he just chips it in. And you're just like what? Like, how do we fight against this?
Yeah, and like that is Spieth. Like that's like it's so tough to play against.
Magic.
Yeah, that's what it is. And even though the majors he's won, you think he's blown it, and then coming back from the driving range back on and stuff.
The only thing I'll say is it's foursomes, and Jordan and Justin at the moment really have a tendency to blow it off the planet. Just because like Jordan has the tendency to do that anyway.
Like the best of times.
Sometimes he'll just hit like a horrendous shot.
Yeah.
And Justin, like he is still fine. You know?
He is, like I don't think he's miraculously recovered.
No,
I think
not.
he'll be a little bit dodgy at times.
So like there will be moments where they'll just like someone will be in a horrendous shot, in a horrendous position. And to be fair, if it's Jordan Spieth in a horrendous position, you're going to back him to put himself back into a very good spot.
Yeah.
But if it's Justin, you could almost be like, what am I doing here? Like this is just a random part of the golf course to be on.
Yeah.
And if I was Rory and Tommy, like although Rory didn't drive a great today, like he hit a lot of driving irons and 3-woods. He keeps hitting driving irons to be hitting fairways and be fine. Tommy, like we're just watching highlights of the foursomes there now. Like Tommy's short game is so tidy at the moment.
Yeah,
and it's really tidy. It's nothing magic, but it's tidy.
Yeah, like it's probably a which one blows up first.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah. Who simmers out, because they could both burn so hot.
And I think
and it's just who's going to get deflated first.
I also think the two of them are going to come to that first tee box flying.
Yeah,
like they're going to be like, and I think
to be well rested.
I think JT and Spieth are going to go this is our kind of time to show that we're back.
Well, they've got nothing to lose. You know,
No, nothing to lose. Yeah,
they're 5 points down after day one. If you listen to some media, as far as you're concerned, people shouldn't even turn up on Sunday. The Americans shouldn't even turn up. I saw Mark Sheehan said, "Is this going to be finished by Sunday morning?" No, it won't. I'll say this right now: if
Definitely
if
not.
Europe win 3 points tomorrow, it's a good day. USA is going to come back with a vengeance.
But they have to.
If we as a European team earn 3 points tomorrow, that was a great day. If we go into Sunday at 9.5, we're flying. We're in a great place.
I also think that you look at our players, the Hattons, like, can they back it up again with another good day? Can Bob make another good day? Can Strachan make another good day? Can Shane do another good day? Like,
That's it.
It could very easily go south if a little wonkiness happens or something happens. It's not like we've got a rake of absolute killers.
You don't have
that have been storming off wins, and they go, no, we'll put our foot in the throat. We have lads that are
good.
Yeah, good, really good players, and in the day can win everything, but also miss cuts.
Yeah.
So I think to think it's
that's a very pointed note. Miss cuts. Oh yeah, don't look at France last week. Like,
I'm just saying. I'm just it's the overconfidence of a few people.
I get that. Let's go into the second match. So at 6:50 our time in Dublin, Victor Hovland, Ludwig Aberg against Scotty Scheffler and Brooks Koepka. Holy shit!
I'm actually
what a game.
I think
this is the game to watch. I think like the Jordan Spieth and Justin
fair.
Thomas. I think to be completely pessimistic, I think Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth could be like 3 up through 3, 3 up through 4,
could be.
And they could just hold on to that for the next 14 holes. Whereas this could be so tight, so close.
So I'm going to give Johnson a bit of benefit of the doubt here. I'm going to say this is quite smart. We know what Scheffler's like. We know what personality he's like. We know he's a big Christian.
Big Christian.
Well, it makes a difference. Because here's my point.
How does it make a difference?
Because has he put him with the bad boy of golf in the American team?
I'm going to try and win foursomes and convert you to the light.
No. But Brooks can be a bit of a dick.
He can be a bit of a dick, yeah.
So is he going? Is Brooks going to bring that out and Chef that let's go kill these lads? Let's go kill them. And
Scotty's just going on the fairway saying, "Forgive me, Father, for I sinned."
No, but he's just okay. Let's go be killers. Let's not be soft here. Brooks gives him that bit of steel.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you know what I mean? Like if Brooks is it's a major. Don't worry. This is what we do. This is what I do. And it might just rub off on Scotty. And I think that could be smart.
Whereas I think Victor and Ludwig are going to walk up onto the first tee and be like, "This is gas. Let's give this a go, and we'll just see what happens." And they'll
Hovland just petting a dog before he tees off and going.
They'll just shoot 8 under, and they'll be like, "That was great fun, wasn't it?"
What are we doing for lunch?
I think again they have two very opposite approaches, but Victor, you want to talk about leadership in the team. This is Victor Hovland's second Ryder Cup, and he, for me, has stepped up as a leader in this team.
Yeah, he stepped up as a big baller as well.
His role in this Ryder Cup, I don't think can be understated.
I also think it's very easy to forget that throughout this season he's grown into the player he was. I think you had said it to me early on. I said I just don't really see it with Hovland. I was like, Morikawa's a bigger bowler, but Hovland has really grown and stepped up into one of the really top players in the world. Yeah,
remember Matt Wolff, Colin Morikawa, Victor Hovland all came out came out of college the same year. Yeah. They're all kind of contemporaries. Everyone at the time was when Matt Wolff came out first, this guy's unbelievable. Same thing with Colin Morikawa. But I remember when Hovland came out, people in the know were all saying, this guy, he won't blow up immediately, but he's going to have the best career. Which I think, he hasn't got a major in the same way Colin Morikawa does, but you look at the year that he's had, and last 2 years he's had compared to Colin Morikawa.
Yeah,
for me, he's been his star is going to shine a hell of a lot brighter. Can we also just talk about how sweaty Sepp Straka is real quick? We're watching the highlights. He is a sweaty man.
Also, Ram.
He went to college in Augusta, Georgia. You think he'd be acclimatized?
We're just watching Lowry and Seb, and I'm like they worry me, but boy, do they look like they're just having an absolute ball.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
and they were you in what sense? Because they're now going off in the foursomes. Great segue. Did you see that? Great segue. They're going into foursomes tomorrow against Max Homa and Brian Harmon. I think best pairing that they could have got.
Yeah.
Like absolute best. But like, they did away with Colin Morikawa pretty handily. Who was Colin Morikawa with? Anyway, I'll find that out.
Yeah, like it's with the two, like the two of them. I'm because Shane hasn't had a great year. I think
Fowler.
Who's a Fowler. Shane has had a great year, but I don't think he's had a bad year. He's had worse years. I think he's been kind of middling with a few kind of like he just hasn't been as good as what we expect. But he hasn't been dreadful. And Seb Straka, again, coming from the the DP World Tour, not blowing up anything on the PGA Tour. So to put the two of them together, I think was risky.
Yeah.
But I know the fact you brought up before how everything kind of clicks with them, and I think perhaps the fact that they knew it was clicking, they were like, okay, let's make sure let's get to know each other. Let's really do this. But again, like Ryan Harmon won the Open. He played really well in the Open. Yeah. I know you're not happy. He puts with a fridge. He's a fantastic fantastic putter.
That's so good.
Max Homa probably has the nicest swing since your favorite Aussie.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott.
Yeah.
Max Homa has a beautiful swing. On paper they could click. So I'm still a little bit worried about them.
Yeah. No, I think they're going to be... Yeah. Because, listen, I'm saying if we win 3 points out of the entire day tomorrow...
You've got to stay in for 4.
It means a lot of people are going to lose.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably. Then the last one, John Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton. Before we get into this match, I never want to see Victor Hovland and Tyrrell Hatton play a team together ever again. They dug in, they got gritty. Like what Mark was saying, and that's not how Victor Hovland plays. He's a free, that's how Tyrrell Hatton plays.
Yeah,
and I just don't think that's Hovland's game at all. No. And when Hovland is a better player, like Hovland is a better golfer than Tyrrell Hatton at the time in golf.
I think by good, but
you cannot be dragging yourself to his kind of game. You gotta back your horses. And I'd never want to see Tyrrell Hatton and Victor Hovland on a team together.
Yeah, I actually think John Rahm and Hatton suit each other. The way they attack
the Beardy team.
Yeah, and asking him does John Rahm swear in Spanish or English, and do you have a little blow up? I think the two of them just get each other.
Yeah.
And I think that relaxes Hatton, because I think Hatton, again, this is just armchair psychology. I have no backing in this. I feel that Hatton just sees himself as a little bit different to other golfers and a little different to people because he gets so aggressive and he gets so annoyed. Mm-hmm. He was moaning about the greens today at one point. Man, what? Like, you're playing great. Just let it go. And I just think
they won that hole.
I know.
And he was moaning, furious, and they won that hole. You're like, man, calm down. Take the win. Calm down.
I just think Rahm gets him, and I think Hatton goes, I can kind of say what I want, and John's not gonna get annoyed, and he's not gonna take it to a point. He actually gets where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So I really like that pair.
So they're playing against Cantlay and Schauffele. I'm
gonna say there's no balls in that partnership.
You don't like that team?
Cantlay and Schauffele?
They were so slow this morning. Holy crap.
I know you tweeted about it, but
awful to watch. They were nearly a hole behind the third group. There's only 4 matches going on at the same time. So fucking slow.
There's no energy, there's no gas in those two. No. Both of them are just flat. And I think Schauffele, with someone who has that energy, will be good.
He can be
the cigar thing in the foot. But put him with Cantlay, and the two of them are just flat.
Yeah. And that seems like a weird pairing. And like they don't have a great record together either as a team.
It's just that no one wants to play with Cantlay because he's slow. Like, you couldn't put Brooks with him. Brooks
would lose his mind. Brooks would just concede the match. He'd be like, I'm going in.
I'm not playing.
Going in.
Is it something like that?
Yeah.
Because I don't see the reason why they put them together unless someone's like, I'm not playing with him, he's so bloody slow.
Yeah. No,
like, we played with slow, like we played with slow people, and I can see you get riled.
I lose my mind.
You get riled lads playing slow. So I'm like, I can only imagine what like the pros are like with Cantlay. And then Harmon with the waggles. I forgot about the Waggles.
Did you
till
hear
this
there
morning.
was such a good chant? You want to talk about European fans being better than Americans? Before Brian Harmon stood over a shot off a fairway, someone shouted, "Do you know that song? My money don't jiggle jiggle."
Yeah.
Someone
My
goes,
money don't-
"Brian Harmon, go wiggle wiggle,
Wiggle.
eat shot." I was like, "Oh, it's amazing! It's so good.
It's
It's so much better than just USA." You're like, "Oh my god, guys, come on, please come up with something a little bit more inventive." Like
The
when
Waggles.
Brian Harmon goes waggle waggle,
Waggle.
eat shot.
They're horrendous, those Waggles, though. And he like, you're going, he's going to hit it. Oh, he's not going to hit it. He's going, no, he's not going to hit it. He's going to hit it. No, he's not going to hit it.
Yeah, it was just. Well, look. As far as Ryder Cup days go, it was unbelievable.
Okay, so how many points do USA need in the morning before things get really, really awkward?
Look, it's foursomes in the morning again. Clearly,
Four points out of the four. Like if Europe get 3 from the morning, are the USA in serious trouble?
Oh yeah, jeez. Like I'm saying
game
they're
over?
going to get 3 all day. Like.
So you think if USA need to win that 3-1?
I think the morning session will go 2-2,
Okay.
and then the US will go 3-1 in the Fourball, just because they have to. Like to save any kind of face here. Yeah, you absolutely have to. Now I don't like. Do I want that to happen? Clearly not.
We're just looking on the tee box, and when they're being announced, the Europeans are nearly arm in arm all the time.
They look like so much. Like I was saying this to
and the USA lads, even speed. We just sorry, I know this is TV on the background, but we're watching.
It's great. It's giving us talking points.
Hovland
It's
and
great.
Hatton together,
Thanks for sticking by. There are people watching.
And then Spieth and Thomas, and you're thinking, oh, the bromance, Spieth and Thomas.
They'll be giving it everything.
They'll be the two of them will be nearly just arm in arm. And they looked awkward there.
Yeah.
And then Hatton and Hovland arm in arm. Bit of a high five at Luke Donald the way to the tee box. It's like, do you guys even know you're in a game?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. So when we were watching the last match, I was watching the Bob McIntyre Justin Rose game going down 18, and the atmosphere when the camera cut to the European team, it was like it was Sunday. Everyone was cheering. Everyone was so positive, giving each other high fives and hugs. Everyone like crouched down watching Bob McIntyre and Justin Rose hitting in. And to be fair, like everyone except for Jordan Spieth was there also watching from the US side.
Again, we've got the same lads again. We got Brooks and Scotty.
Brooks literally has Nikolai. I mean, John Rahm literally has Nikolai under his wing.
Like
literally under his wing.
There's no way that's accidental.
No.
Even then, Scotty's just kind of half standing there. It's like,
where's the camaraderie?
Rahm and Højgaard just like as they're being announced, just nodding, giving it to the fans. Yeah. We're going to war here.
Yeah. But you could just see that everyone was really flat on the US side. It was great to see. I mean, my only potential concern is that people could get emotionally tired by Sunday if you keep that up for another day. But that's obviously I have no idea. Like I haven't played a 3-day Ryder Cup event,
and also like
at that level, I have no clue.
And I think
I would just be concerned, especially when watching what happened with the Solheim Cup. After the first session, Europe got swept, and then they turned around and they won it. Like
I think that's a really good point because like I've been reading a lot. Like number one, you talk about the lads being very sweaty.
Do you want to click on your computer just in case you got any questions from the audience?
So just with it's a tough golf course, as in it's hilly, it's long. Max Homa's caddy's got a stand bag.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that was cool
because it's too heavy to be the other one.
That makes a lot of
Billy
sense.
Foster, friend of the pod, was also saying he wasn't taking any water, any food. He was minimizing balls because it was so long to walk. It's hot. When is that time?
30 degrees.
But it's 30 degrees. When last time you saw Ryder Cup in that warm? So I think your point of you got emotionally tired. Also, like playing this many in a kind of a hilly with the raised greens, like that's going to take it out of the legs.
Yeah.
And then we know Hovland and they're in the ice baths.
Because
Hovland was like, oh, it's 4 degrees. That's cold.
Yeah.
That's really cold. So, yeah, like I think maybe
important to note here, the only team that wasn't arm in arm, Bob McIntyre, Justin Rose.
Bob's not a really touchy-feely guy, though.
He's big on the emotions, though.
He is. He is.
I say he must have been breaking it, though. Like, this is his first shot at the Ryder Cup.
I also think, like, not coming in feeling amazing. And I know, like, we heard on the range, he wasn't smoking it. Yeah. That's got to be tough. It's his first tee shot here.
He smoked this
He
though.
smoked it.
A1 position.
I was glad he got off to a start, and I think that's going to calm him down.
Yeah.
I think middle of the fairway on the first. He did what you said. You said he was. It was
2 under through the first two. 2 under through three.
Bob's a field player as well.
Yeah.
He's feeling it now.
This
hopefully.
from Nikolai here. Now you'll see this. Oh, so obviously we're just watching the highlights back now at this point, guys. But
You're just watching us watch the telly here on the highlights, and I missed a good bit of it because I was in school today as
Yeah.
well, so I was trying to keep up.
that day job, like look at that for birdie putt to win the hole. Nikolai Hogard.
I love
steps
that. I
it
love
up.
that one. He's just. I love the celebrations of the Europeans. Everything they celebrate everything.
So we may as well leave this at that. We are going to do this again tomorrow.
Yep.
We will probably we'll put out on Instagram and on Twitter the exact times that we're going to do this live show, but it's going to be more of a watch along tomorrow. So it'll be during the day, kind of as the foursomes come to an end and as the four balls are kicking off. So
like if you're sick of McGinley and you're sick of the commentary you're watching, flash the Bogey Man on and see us fist pump and celebrate.
Absolutely.
Just for something a little different.
And if anyone from Sky Sports happens to be watching,
We are available.
tag us in. Put me in, coach. Put me in. I think we'll leave it at that. Like I said, guys, go check out the collection we have with Chippy Golf for head covers, towels. We will have a Ryder Cup giveaway coming along. We also have another competition. We've got a couple of competitions coming up across all of our social channels and the podcast. So that'll be very good. Let's go Team Europe. This is a heady position. I don't know what to say. Don't know what to do.
It was such a good start.
Yeah.
And I mean, from entertainment point of view as well, it was so good. And I think tomorrow's going to be electric.
Yeah. Right. We'll leave it at that, guys. Thanks very much for watching. We'll probably podcast this up as well. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. It was a little over an hour. Thank you for Mark for coming on. We were meant to have a second guest, but he had it as actual job to do over at the Ryder Cup. Stephen Watson working for BBC. He might be able to join us tomorrow. We're not really sure. If not, join us for a watch along. And tell you what, if anyone wants to come on, and they're not just like a randomer,
if you've just opened it up to anyone,
if you have some good golf takes, send us a DM, and we might get you on for a few minutes. How's that sound? We'll open it up. We'll let the people on, even if you are a randomer. This is it. This is the chip in here. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, speed.
This is
I
it.
did see that. That was sick. The little under fist bump. Yeah.
Sickening. All right, we'll leave it at that.
Right. Ciao.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for watching as always.